Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about Mara. So Marathon Patent Group, I've done this one not long time ago, so this is a little bit of an update. I'm not going to bore you with the exact same details, but I'm going to try to cover a little bit around there and making sure that, if there's any new updates, technical analysis, everything is up to date. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, notifications on, and let's jump right into that. If you would like to go on and jump towards technical analysis, the link to that exact time frame is in the description and pinned in the comment below. So, Marathon Digital Assets Company, and it basically, in layman's term, it really works with Bitcoin or crypto mining. So, what is crypto mining? Well, crypto mining is very much about confirming hash rate. So, here it is. It says, mining is the processing of transactions in the digital currency system in which the records of current Bitcoin transactions known as block are added to the record of the past transaction known as a blockchain. And really how it works is a system of records in which a record transaction made in Bitcoin or another cryptocurrencies are maintained across several computers that are linked in peer-to-peer network. And they usually verified in terms of a puzzle, and once their computers solve that puzzle, then they are able to get that Bitcoin reward. And the way it works is that the average number of Bitcoin mined each day is block reward, which halves every so often. Last time it halved was mid of 2020, so we don't need to worry about that one for a little. 6 times per hour, and then 24 hours per day. As of May 11, 2020, you're looking at 6.25 Bitcoins per block at 6 times per hours per day. 24 hours per day is around 900 Bitcoins per day on average. Now, what we need to basically, Bitcoin mining very much looks like a server room with hundreds and hundreds of fans because we gotta keep them cool. And some of the latest news include Marathon Patent Group completes $200 million capital raise end the year with $217 million in cash. Now that is significant because their at-the-market program was paying off for all the new miners. Now, if you remember, they bought this massive amount of different mining machines. You can find that in my previous DDs. And they would have to pay for it somehow. And I did a little bit voice my concern about it. And I did say that a big part of that is going to be paid by the at-the-market offering. And by them utilizing it, well, that gives you a bit of money to pay the outstanding debt that they have because they have it more on the payment for the miners itself. So to date, the company has purchased 103,060 miners, which once delivered and fully deployed will produce 10.36 EH per second. 15,200 of these units are scheduled to be shipped in the first quarter 2021. And the company currently anticipates installing 4,000 units in February, 6,300 in March, 4,800 in April. And after the initial deposits were paid, the Marathon remaining balance to the Bitman was $163 million. So $163 million, and you have actually raised up around 217.6. The thing that everything kind of balances itself, and they did raise it using the at-the-market offering, which is very, very smart, in my opinion, because they took a chance with putting an at-the-market offering with a massive stock price that is rallying, and could have not done it in a better time. 2020 has been crazy. So yes, so we do have Marathon Patent Group purchased 70,000 S19 ASIC miners from Bitman for $170 million. We've already gone through that before, and that will cost them around, $170 million, and they raised around $217 million in general. So it all balances out at the end of the day. The final shipment will be in December 2021. So by the end of the years, you'll have all miners deployed at 103,000 miners capable of producing 10.3 EH per second. And why is that crucial? I do have this infographic, which is really terrible from on their site. So please, I'm very forgive me about the pixelated picture here, but we still can actually get some information out of it. So between January and December, there's not a lot of difference between the projected hash rate, but take a look into each month going on forward. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So if the price of Bitcoin stays stable, the company would be producing, let's say this is around, from what it looks, 300. They could be producing somewhere around 12 times more of that around September. 12 times more revenue by September. That is crucial because of their current valuation. Already covered this one here. In terms of the latest SEC filings, we've covered that. So we want to look quickly is a couple of things that we need to focus on the presentation themselves. Take a look in terms of Marathon and Bitcoin prices side by side. Marathon is in orange, Bitcoin is in blue. And the reason why it's seen this massive jumps, or at least lately, is because of the news of additional miners. And with additional miners, there's additional revenue, and that's why the massive jump of increase has gone. Initially, that wasn't the case, but now it is more of a growth phase. So in my opinion, it's not very much about being pumped, but rather about intrinsic value regarding these additional miners that are being delivered and installed. In the fourth quarter of 2021, we're expecting around 15 to 20 Bitcoins per day. In terms of production, right now we're doing 2 per day, and the new facility will have 12 times more with fixed cost of electricity in terms of the power itself. So the next thing here, we already a little bit addressed how it works. In terms of history of expansion and growth, so in the first quarter of 2020, they began aggressively upgrading mining portfolio with the next generation of miners. They purchased 700 M30S and 1,100, I think, something here is issue there with the numbers. I think it's 1100 S19 Pro miners. Eliminated long-term debt. Purchased 500 additional S19 miners on Q2. Closed $6.9 million of public offering and purchased 700 M3S plus miners. What I like about this one is any offerings, any ATMs, it goes back towards the company and reinvests in it. Partnered with B-Wolf Energy relocated miners to 105 megawatts Bitcoin mining data center in Hardin, MT, reducing aggregate mining costs by 38%. An additional 10,000 S Pro miners purchased from Bitmain was on the fourth quarter of 2020, with additional 10,000 S19J Pro miners purchased from Bitmain, and all 33,000 are currently deployed, making Marathon one of the largest miners in North America. Now that number is going to actually cross 100,000 by the end of 2021 this year. So the next things we want to look at a little is a bit about this one here. This article came out recently, and it says Bitcoin miners are making $1 million every hour. And here's how. So the total revenue of Bitcoin miners stands at $13 billion. Here's why it's such a big industry. In brief, hourly Bitcoin mining revenue is its highest as since July 2019. That's because Bitminers is in hot demand or on hot in demand to secure the network by processing transactions. And that is some of the things we already know, but the more exposure, the better. And we went on and tried to find some of the institutional buyers. We don't see anything significant moving on. It looks like it's been fixed since November. I guess the increase in surge in prices has a lot of people or a lot of different companies holding on investing in miners and rather trying to invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency themselves. Now the last one was Block Amplifying Transformational Data Sharing ETF, was around 612,000 shares. Not a long time ago, it was back in the 23rd of December. Insider buyers, it looks like back at 17th of December, from the 3rd of December to 17th of December, there was a bit of selling by Burge Michael, Carol, and Rudolph Michael at 6.15, around $6. And what we get to see here is that the current price is somewhere above $10. So, you know what? They're lost. Now, some of the things we're looking at here quickly is the price of Bitcoin. You get to see it's been massive. It had a little bit of resistance, looks funny on the right side. And that is exactly why Bitcoin does have a little bit of an issue in terms of the last week. So now moving on towards technical analysis, please make sure if you haven't done so, to drop a subscribe. It helps my channel a lot. Drop a like and leave notifications on. If you'd like to join our Discord, feel free. It's a chat room down below. It's in the description if you'd like to join that. Now, on a 1 week perspective, we get to see that things are looking a little bit bullish, but with a warning sign. ADX here is above 50, and that's where reversals are more likely in that sense. So that's a dangerous sign. Momentum is still very positive, and that is amazing. MACD is a little bit stabilizing. Usually that is a little bit off. A warning note that says, be careful, you might actually get a pullback at this level. Now, in terms of William %R, what we get to see on William %R, it's that it's still overbought. Moving averages are all bullish. It looks like it's getting more bullish by the week. 10 SMA, the green line is above 30 EMA. Now, the 200 SMA is above 50 SMA, that's bearish, but it's actually 50 SMA is increasing, 50 SMA is, the 200 SMA is decreasing, and that is a bullish sign for us. Because we want the 50 SMA to cross the 200 SMA, and that is a very bullish sign. Now, on a 1 hour perspective, or sorry, 1 day perspective before the hourly perspective, things look really rough for MACD. It looks like it's actually attempting a negative reversal, and that is a very, very dangerous sign. ADX looks stable. It looks like it retracted from the 50s, and it's showing it might get a serious pullback. William %R was highly oversold yesterday, and that's a good sign. It's a healthy pullback in that sense. William %R is a little bit, yeah, so as we said, today is somewhere around neutral. Momentum is retracting a little, and I think it would continue to retract somewhere around the 2 to 2 in terms of momentum, so it'll be half the momentum moving forward, but that is more of an accumulation period, and that is a healthy thing. Now, moving averages are full-on bullish. 10 SMA is above 30 EMA, it's 250 SMA is above 200 SMA, and the price point is above 50 SMA and 200 SMA. Now, it is in the bullish trading action zone, and it's already played once. The bullish trading action zone is between 1129 and 806. That's where you expect bounces and bullish reversals at this level. Now, on a 2 hour perspective, things look a little bit different. It looks like the MACD is a little bit struggling to balance up. It looks a little bit sloppy. It's a little bit of accumulation period, and it actually does give us a bit more of confirmation that yes, we are in an accreditation period, or sorry, accumulation period. Right now, the moving average band is expected to trade 957 in the top, 870 in the middle, and 783 in the bottom. Now, Marathon here, we get to see that the stochastic fast and stochastic slow are looking a little bit rough. They both are, they're not dropping, but they're showing that the price will probably skid sideways, tending a little bit towards the pullback, but it's still stable. And that's where supports and resistances are very important. Starting off with Fibonacci retracements, significant support is at 920, and then followed 751, 8582, and 373. Significant resistances are 1160 and 1467. 1466. Now, quickly going on, let's say a 1 hour perspective to try to find significant supports and resistances on this line. So significant support sits at 1086. Below there, we're looking at 1007. Below there, a very, very significant one at somewhere 958 to 946. And then going down all the way to 902, 805, and then 721. And then going up to 603, and then 573. Now, significant resistances, you're looking at 1105, a very, very significant one at 1179, and then 1229, 1296, and 1431. Now it comes to the question to Ed, what do you think? In terms of trading, this one is currently more of an accumulation period. It's going to have its massive jumps, its massive drops, and it's going to continue on this cycle for a while. Why? Because Bitcoin is a little bit stagnant, and you do expect for it to move with Bitcoin. Now, if you're looking in terms of this in Bitcoin, I think this one is a little bit of a better investment than Bitcoin for one reason. They're expanding their mining operations by somewhat like 12 times by the end of the year. Sure, some of that price point has been adjusted to that, yes, but I do think that they're very conscious about expanding and keep on expanding their miners. It looks like every time they're doing public offering, they're not giving bonuses to CEOs. I'm sure they do, but a lot of that money goes right back into the company, creating whereby buying miners or basically running their operation, and it looks significant for me to say, yes, I am bullish long term. Short term, if Bitcoin crashes, expect this one to follow, but it's going to trade a little bit sideways. It's going to be jumps here and there, and it's going to be a little bit of a sloppy side. It's not, but wait for it around, let's say, accumulation periods, let's say 5 more days, and then look back at the technical indicators, and then you can adjust and say, yes, I do think there will probably be a bounce, or no, I think it's time for a pullback and a correction. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.